Hello everyone. The topic for today is semaphores. In the last lecture we have seen that Peterson's solution was restricted to only two processes. So it provided the solution to critical section problem only when there were two processes in the system. Now semaphores provide us a generic solution where there is no limitation on how many processes are there in the system. Now what is semaphore? Semaphore is a variable. It's an integer variable which can be accessed only by two atomic operations, wait and signal. So if you want to modify or you want to read the value of s, you need to use two operations, wait and signal. Okay. Now what are those operations? We'll see in the next slide. Now wait is also termed as p and signal is also termed as v. So these are the names which can be used alternatively for wait and signal. Now this is the definition of wait and signal. So what happens in wait is that we will issue wait before the critical section. So in wait we'll check whether some other process is in the critical section or not. If any process is in the critical section, then the current process will wait and will not enter the critical section. Now once you are able to enter the critical section, in the exit section we will use the signal. So signal is nothing but just to signal all other process that the current process is out of the critical section and any other process which wish to enter the critical section can do now. So let us see how this works. Suppose there are two processes, P1 and P2. Now initially the value of the variable semaphore will be 1. So 1 means that there is no process in the critical section. This means that the resource is free to be occupied. Now the general method of using semaphores is that first you call wait, then there will be critical section, and then there will be signal. Okay. Now once the process P wants to enter the critical section, it will call wait. So what is the value of s? It is 1, right? Now P1 checks while s is less than equal to 0. So is s less than equal to 0? No. This means it will come out of the while loop and decrement the value of s. So now P1 will make the value of s to 0. Both the lines are able to execute. The function is complete. P1 will come out of the wait and will enter into the critical section. Now let us suppose while P1 is in the critical section, P2 arrives and it also wants to enter the critical section. P2 will also call wait on s. What is the value of s? It's 0. Now while s is less than 0, do what? No operation. So P2 gets stuck here in this while loop. So it is not able to come out of the while loop and hence the wait is not successful. Hence P2 will get stuck in the wait part and will not be able to enter the critical section. Once P1 is done with the critical section, it will call what? Signal. What will happen in signal? Again signal takes the value of s as input. Current value of s is 0. What is the only operation? S plus plus. So in signal the value of s will be changed back to 1. Now once P1 is done with the signal part, P2 was stuck in this while loop. The moment s value becomes 1, this statement becomes false. It comes out of the while loop, decrements the value back to 0, is able to complete the wait part and enters into the critical section. So now P2 is able to enter the critical section. So we can see that in a similar manner it will not matter how many processes are there, only one of them will be able to enter the critical section while all others will have to wait. The important point to remember here is that both these operations, wait and signal, are indivisible. You cannot further divide them. What is meant by this? If a process is executing either wait or signal, it cannot be preempted until the instruction is completed. Okay, मीन्स अगर एक प्रोसेस वेट या सिग्नल ऑपरेशन एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा है then you cannot preempt it. The entire wait and signal will be taken as one single instruction. Even if there is an interrupt, वो instruction complete होगी, then only some other process will be able to get the CPU. So this ensures that the operation of a process is not preempted in between while it is executing either wait or signal. Now what is the usage? So the example that I have just discussed is the example of binary semaphores. अगर आपके पास एक ही रिसोर्स का एक ही इंस्टांस है, this means what? Only one of the process can use it. This kind of semaphore is termed as binary semaphore. Okay, they're also known as mutex locks. The alternate is counting semaphores. कई बार ऐसा हो सकता है कि आपके पास एक रिसोर्स के मल्टीपल इंस्टांसेस हैं. सो लेट अस सपोज कि आपके पास एक प्रिंटर है और आपके पास, सो लेट अस सपोज कि आपके पास 5 प्रिंटर है. नाउ व्हाट इज द रिसोर्स? प्रिंटर. एंड हाउ मेनी यू हैव? इंस्टांसेस कितने हैं आपके पास? 5. दिस मीन्स दैट 5 प्रोसेस कैन यूज दोज 5 प्रिंटर्स एट द सेम टाइम. 5 तक तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आने वाली, हर एक प्रोसेस के पास एक एक प्रिंटर हो सकता है. द 6th one is going to cause the problem. So in this case we can use counting semaphores. हम हर एक के लिए अलग अलग वेरिएबल यूज़ नहीं करेंगे 5 प्रिंटर्स के लिए. We will use one variable for the resource printer, but in this case we are going to initialize it to 5 because हमारे पास कितने प्रिंटर्स हैं? 5. So whenever you have counting semaphores, then the initial value of the semaphore variable should not be 1, but it should be equal to the number of instances that are available. So binary semaphore हमें तब यूज़ करना है जब मेरे पास एक ही इंस्टांस है. काउंटिंग semaphore हमें तब यूज़ करना है जब हमारे पास मल्टीपल इंस्टांसेस हैं. So this is the general implementation. मैंने आपको पहले भी डिस्कस किया है that you will do what? First you will issue wait. If wait is successful, then the process will enter critical section. Then in the exit section you will have signal. Okay. What is the drawback? The drawback with using semaphores is it causes a problem called busy waiting. Now what is busy waiting? So if we go back to the example, while P1 is in the critical section, let us suppose, and P2 also wants to do so, P2 will get stuck in the wait. Inside wait, the process P2 will be executing only what? While s is less than equal to 0. So till the time P1 is in the critical section, P2 is doing what? It is just executing this particular line. So what it is doing? Nothing. But it has kept the CPU busy. If it is a multiprocessor system, if it is a multitasking system, you know that every process is going to get some fixed time. So let us suppose that fixed time is 5 seconds. So P1 will get 5 seconds, P2 will get 5 seconds. For these 5 seconds, P2 is doing what? It is just executing what? While s less than equal to 0, while s less than equal to 0. So it has kept the CPU busy for 5 seconds, but what it is doing? It is just waiting for the value of s to be changed from 0 to 1. उसने CPU को बिजी रखा, पर किया क्या? कुछ नहीं, just waiting for the value of s to be changed to 1. So this situation is called busy waiting. There is no useful work that is done by P2. So this 5 seconds could have been given to some other process or even to P1 so that they might have done some useful processing. So what is the alternate for this? What is the solution to this? The solution to this is just modifying the definition of wait and signal. So here's a link that I am providing you. Visit this link. It's a very good animation that will make the entire concept clear. Okay, they have given you the solution उन्होंने mention किया हुआ है, plus animation के साथ explain किया हुआ है how that busy waiting problem is avoided with the modified definition of wait and signal. So see you in the next class on hardware based solutions. So Peterson solution and semaphores are both software based solutions. Okay, in the next section we will discuss 2 hardware based solutions.